So what we've got here is a comic strip. If you're year 7, you'd be doing whatever you decide your comic is going to be, but in the style of Romero Britto. So I'm using a Spider-Man comic because I like Spider-Man and like Marvel. So I'm going to design it as if it's a proper Marvel comic. So you can see I've just laid out a storyline. So later on, if I'm really good at my artwork, I will do a sequence storyline in a comic book, and then I've designed a very basic front cover. Right, so what I've done is used pictures from the internet, which you will see when I cut away. You'll see on my computer. I'll go through some of the pictures that I've just got off the internet, and I'm literally drawing those. Spending a bit of time writing out my banner for my front cover, because once you've done that design, then you would do a mock-up comic of your story. So if for this lesson you just do a front cover and you design the whole thing and you do your colour, that's absolutely fantastic. If you're feeling really ambitious after that, you can then plan your comic strip and your story over up to 4 pages. It can be 2 if you want to. The more you add, the more you can create your story. And that literally could last you right across Christmas into the new year if you're doing it really, really well. So once I've got my front cover, it's now time to start to draw that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that out a little bit more carefully on this paper, and then on the next scene you're going to see how this looks, and that will be what you then need to do. So you can see here, all I've got is my pages up, which is probably what most of the rest of you guys would be able to do. I've got Venom, I've got Spider-Man, I've got Marvel comic front covers to give myself an idea of what I'm doing, and then I've got Black Widow, who I'm going to include in part of my story. Okay, so she's going to be, the idea of the story is that she's going to rescue Spider-Man with her Venom, or against Venom, using her special powers. So that's what we're going to do. So my first task is to design my front cover. It is going to be Spider-Man as the main character, with Black Widow saving the day. So there's going to be a reference to her on there. And that's my first task. So what I've got now is I've now worked on this for a good while, transferring or changing this idea into this piece of work. So I've worked through looking at the pictures that I'd got off the internet, combining them. Now if I'm working with the year 7s, I've done this, the background and all the other details, in the style of the Brazilian artist Romero Britto. So this could be like an anniversary issue, for instance, for Spider-Man, Black Widow saves the day, Marvel Comics, but Romero Britto's done the artwork, so I'm pretending that's what it is. So I've added in those styles about Romero Britto. So if you're a year 7, what you would do is choose your own comic. It doesn't have to be Marvel, it can be anything you like, and that can be quite difficult to make a choice. So if I was doing that, I'd do a list in my book of ideas. So it could be, you know, anything I like. It could be animals, it could be food, it could be my favourite football team, whatever I want, just like you were doing in class. And you would do a comic that tells you the story of what you want to illustrate. And my first task is to do my front cover, and then after that I would then start to plan out my comic. Okay, that's today's lesson if you're a year 7. If you're a year 8, it's today's lesson as well, but you're just doing Marvel and comic characters, and you don't have to worry too much about adding the style of Romero Britto to your work. But the idea is still the same. You go through the same process, designing your comic, thinking of the storyline, and then do the front cover. Okay, so if you do anything even approaching this level for your front cover, and I know there's some brilliant artists who should probably even do better, that will be fantastic. Okay, so that's your work for today. Use the PowerPoint and my online information. A4 paper once again, once you're doing your actual artwork, and then that gets brought in after Christmas to go into your book. So have some fun, put some real effort into it, and let's see what you come up with.